factors. I don't know if we've talked about factors before. Maybe, maybe not. But you just need to know when the book asks you for factors, they are the whole numbers that go evenly into a number. Whole numbers that go evenly into a number. Which won't make a lot of sense until, ladies and gentlemen, we do one of these here. Let me give you the for example here. Right out of the book will ask you this. List all the factors of 20. List all the factors of 20. Which means they are simply asking you, 20 can be divided by what numbers evenly, or what times what will give you 20. Okay. And on your paper then, very much this is what I would like to see. That's the question out of the book. You can just do this, 20, and then you can put a little colon, I guess, or whatever, because you're going to do a listing. And then, this is one of those things where I will give you advice, and you will not take it, and you will get some wrong because you don't do it, but that's just the way, that's why we call it learning. I would very much recommend that you write them down in their pairs, okay, which means this. What times what gives me 20? You should always start with the number 1, because 1 is a factor of everything. 1 times what gives you 20? 20. 1 times 20 is 20. So I would write the 1 there, the 20 there, because I'm going to read them off in order, so you kind of need to list them in order, otherwise you're hunting and trying to find them. And then you could say, well, what about 2? Is 2 times something 20? Yes, 2 times 10. 2 times 10 is 20, is it not? Is it just my weird math? 3 times something doesn't give you 20, but 4 times 5 gives you 20. 6 times something, 7 times something, 8 times something, no, 9 times none of those until you get to 10 again. So again, I would always write these down in their pairs and put them in order from least to greatest. Because too many times I see people, they'll write down 2, but they'll forget about 10. Or they'll write down 1 and forget about 20 or vice versa. But you're always, always, always going to write down 1 in the number. Now, if it was this number, what about 23? Factors of 23. Some numbers don't have any factors, or don't have many factors, but they always have at least 2 factors. What would give you 23? What times what is 23, Jordan? 1 times 23. So you have at least 2 factors. Always at least 2 factors. There's, well, the only number that only has 1 factor, anybody know what it is? One number has 1 factor, and that is the number 1. The factors of 1 are 1. There's just 1 factor of 1. Some numbers have many factors, some numbers have few factors. For example, how about this? I'll give you a chance here. What would be the factors of 24? I'll give you a second. You write down what you think the factors of 24 are, and we will compare notes. By the way, this is another time when knowing your multiplication tables are crucial, because if you don't know what times what gives you 24, then you're going to struggle with finding the factors of 24. Factors of 24. That's what gives you 24. We got them. Should not be too terribly difficult. Let's see if we come up with the same numbers. The first one you'd come up with would be
1 times 24.
124. 2 times 12. 3
Times 8.
times 8. Oops. And 4
Times 6.
times 6. I believe that is all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. Right. Something to keep in mind, boys and girls and kids of all ages, is that if it's an even number, all even numbers, let me know what I'm going to say, have what as their factor? Besides 1, all even numbers, Frankie, have
2.
Yes. Have 2 as a factor. And the other one you want to know is this one. 5 is a factor of all numbers that, everybody know how that one's going to finish. How do you know a 5? 5 is a factor of every number that, Colin,
Ends with a 0.
or ends with 0 or a 5. 5, you can divide 5 into any number, for example, 15. 15, 3 times 5. 25, 5 times 5. 35, 5 times 7. 45, 5 times 9. 40, 5 times 8. So keep this in mind, children, because it will come up to be important. And then one last thing, the book always likes to challenge bright, young, 5th grade minds. Here is a question for you. What factors of 9 are also factors of 18? Question mark, question mark, question mark. And for that, when that comes up on your little paper there, kids, I don't want you just to write down whatever you think it is. I want you to list them. Factors of 9 and factors of 18, and see what you get. Well, factors of 9 would be 1 times 9 and 3 times 3, and I need to list it once. Factors of 18 are 1 and 18, 2 times 9 and 3 times 6. And then in answering the question, what ones do they have together? They both have 1s, they both have 3s, and they both have 9s. 1, 3, and 9. Aren't you glad you got up this morning?
Yes.
Doesn't this just make it all worthwhile? After a 4-day weekend, or 3.5-day weekend, 1, 3, and 9. Any problems or questions with that? You obviously will be factor experts here before we hop into division. I'll go with them.